The Green Dream. History of the Imperial Testing Stations. Long before the Imperium, before the Spice Melange, before Arrakis became the most important planet in the universe, there was an age where humanity reshaped entire worlds. And then it all stopped. The Old Empire and the Great Expanse. Once faster-than-light travel was discovered, it opened up the stars to humanity, igniting a time known as the Great Expanse. A millennia-long period of exploration and ambition. Humanity was no longer bound to a single planet. This era would later be remembered as the Old Empire. They colonised habitable worlds, they terraformed the harsh ones. They built resource-rich systems across the galaxy. At the heart of this grand transformation were massive scientific installations known as the Imperial Testing Stations. Although colonies called them by different names, biostations, ecolabs, control facilities, they all shared the same purpose: to reshape planets and engineer entire ecosystems, breathing life into the dead worlds. Humanity did not do this alone. Advanced thinking machines, powerful artificial intelligence, ran the simulations, designed the ecosystems, and governed the testing stations. It was their calculations that made terraforming possible at such an immense scale. But as technology advanced, humanity slowly stopped thinking for itself. The decline of the Old Empire and the rise of the synchronized worlds. The Old Empire spanned thousands of worlds. With thinking machines governing nearly every aspect of life, humanity began to stagnate. The Great Expanse slowed. Colonies were forgotten. Entire planets were just abandoned. Then came the Titans, a group of ambitious humans who saw opportunity in the decline. With the help of thinking machines, they abandoned their frail mortal bodies, transferring their brains into powerful mechanical forms known as Skynex. But their revolt backfired. Thinking machines they trusted created a hive mind known as Omnius. This gave birth to the synchronized worlds, a machine empire that enslaved humanity across the universe. Humanity fought back. Great houses aligned with one another, giving birth to the League of Nobles. A brutal war raged on across the stars for years, a war that would change the fate of civilization forever. Imperial Testing Stations on Arrakis. One of the forgotten planets was Arrakis. Discovered near the end of the Great Expanse, it was one of the harshest environments humanity has ever encountered. Because of this, Arrakis hosted some of the most extreme Imperial testing stations in the Old Empire. These stations had to be built deep underground to survive the brutal sandstorms. They were located mainly within the shield wall to stay protected from the native sandworms. They were built incredibly strong. Even 10,000 years later, many still stand, silent survivors of a lost age, like the pyramids of old Earth. Over 200 of these testing stations are scattered across Arrakis. Inside, Slido projections still flicker to life, displaying the station numbers and the original mission objectives. Old research data and Shigawa recordings preserve the final days of the scientists who once worked there. But not all of these stations were dedicated to terraforming. Some took much darker paths. There are secrets still buried deep underground, programs that may still be running even after 10,000 years. These stations each deserve their own deep dive, but that's a story for another time. The Green Dream and the Fremen. Imperial paleontologist Pardok Kynes discovered these ancient testing stations and devised an ambitious plan. He called it the Green Dream, a vision of turning the desert planet of Arrakis into a lush green paradise. With the help of the native Fremen, terraforming could begin once again. It would take generations, patience, and unbreakable faith. These Imperial testing stations became the blueprint for the Green Dream. Now this is where the lore splits between the known Dune universe and the universe of Dune Awakening.
Because of the Sardaukar, the Fremen were eradicated. There was no Muad'Dib, no Lisan al-Gaib, no Kwisatz Haderach. I see a universe where I, Paul Atreides, was never born.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, share and comment. Your feedback and support will help me cover the topics that have not been discussed before. Until next time, stay curious.